Alright, gonna... Alright, we'll start here in a moment. We're live, by the way, so...
Okay, that's epic.
Alright.
Back for round two. My Nick
Yes.
2751. Definitely a dedicated guy if he's joining the stream like
Yep.
this.
Yeah, he's very dedicated. Yeah. Alright, get one more place to share the link with. And, we will be ready in a moment. Alright, I think we are ready. Okay, so, yes, that's right, we're back for round two. And, possibly this will be the last part. I'm not fucking looking forward to what's next. Oh. Hold on. I think I unlisted it earlier. Here. Let's list it. And so...
Yep, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 review. I think I saw that video. I saw
Yeah.
the video like a while ago. I specifically remember the part where you talked it. Okay, I'm gonna keep that a little secret because I want the audience to experience the whiplash that I did when I heard that.
I'm not fucking looking forward to this shit because this might be... This is probably the worst fucking video I've ever made. So a couple things to note while making this. A couple things to note that while I made this, I was actually entering it into a reviewing contest. Now, should we wait for more viewers to come?
Yeah, we should probably wait at least a little bit.
We should wait.
We should wait. Alright, so,
We should start back again and wait a little bit longer.
right, more viewers. Waiting for more people in the chat. Let's look at stream health. Alright. Yeah. So we had 6 viewers. Oh wait, no, now we're down to 5. And, Oh. uh. Huh. That's funny. It just went back to 0 for a second. Or that's what I'm looking at anyway. I don't know. I think it only lists... It only lists when it goes down, so... Well, are we sure you want to wait a little bit longer?
Let's see if anyone else is like in the chat.
Watch another video and just
Alright.
save this one for later.
Alright, let's just go to the filler stuff I did before.
Alright.
I made this shitpost a while ago, and this was based off of a copy pasta that Jackie made. You know, Jackie X Koi. And
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm a prominent member of the community.
But basically the shitpost, the copy pasta was for Pac-Man World 4. It was basically this outlandish sort of idea about, you know, basically just a giant shitpost about like what an outlandish version of World 4 would be. Yeah, it's basically one detail was that the final boss had the theme for the final boss was an orchestral version of Rick Ashley's Never Gonna Give You Up. It's basically, and so of course that means, you know, the title is leaked Pac-Man World 4 final boss music. Just a dumb shitpost. And Nick is asking, so how is everyone this fine evening? I'm okay. I'm just not looking forward
I'm personally doing.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just not looking forward to what Can you hear me? You guys hear me? I can hear you. Hello. Hold on. Oh, it's good again. Alright, it's good again, I guess. So you guys can hear me? Alright. Alright, you guys can hear me, that's good. I can tell because I'm looking at the stream on my phone. So anyways, going back to this video, this dumb shitpost video. That's how it ends.
I feel as if his glowing light is always protecting me and guiding me and making all my enemies blue and edible. Behold, I am Pac-man.
Oh. Wait. Good again? Wait, can you hear me?
I can hear you, man. I can hear you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I thought there was.
It was a temporary thing. Fun
Wait,
fact about
Let's
this.
see how many viewers we have.
Fun fact about this particular guy. A lot of
5 watching now.
Okay, a lot of people don't know this, but this was
Previously, he had like 12 or so watching.
12. That's funny. It says I have like 5. You said there was 12 watching?
Yeah, I mean, like in the previous stream.
Oh yeah, in the previous stream, yeah. I guess mainly because
Yeah, well, compared to now, we have like 5.
I guess because more people are busy. We'll wait for more to show up. But yeah, this, a lot of people don't know this, but this whole skit was like satire. And this guy isn't actually this crazy,
Yes.
or, he's not this obsessed as you would think, so. Otherwise, how would he even have a wife, Let's see. What other ship? Well, yeah. This little shitpost right here, the move bitch little shitpost. It's like, I think it has copyrighted music, so I'm not gonna even bother playing that one. Yes, the TNFPL's thoughts on Sonic Mania and Project Sonic 2017. An extremely dated video. Which is why I don't really do these, pre-release opinion or opinion videos thoughts. Oh man, there were so many fucking red flags for Sonic Forces' development.
Yeah, they always tend to be so outdated. Like nowadays, Sonic Forces is incredibly hated.
Yeah, I know, but like as I was saying, like even at when it was like announced, there was like so many red flags, just due to the fact that we didn't even actually get. It's one thing to just have a CGI trailer and no gameplay, but then there was also the fact that it actually kind of looked worse than pre-rendered cutscenes from Sonic Unleashed, a game that came out like 7 or 8 years prior. And then you have the inclusion of classic Sonic, which was a major fucking red flag.
Of what they had shown, and what little they had shown. That's what makes this trailer work very well, in my opinion, as opposed to just getting straight.
Yeah, people just showed blind optimism for having a new mainline Sonic game because of Sonic Lost Worlds and Sonic Boom's mixed reputations.
Yeah, and people were like clamoring for like the return of the boost gameplay. Now nobody wants to see it come back, or at least there are people who do want to see it come back, but not as many as those who want to see the adventure gameplay, or just a competent or just competent developers working on the games. I wonder. I heard something about Sonic Team being dismantled. I'm not sure if that's true or not. I doubt it, but anyways,
Yeah, I think it's just more of a rearranging of the studios, less of shutdown, like restructuring.
yes. I mean, I don't know. You just look at yeah, it's not very good. This entire video is just blind optimism that didn't hold up well. And it's fucking garbage for that reason. I was gonna, like, have videos that where I constantly talked about my thoughts about, like, developments of, Sonic Forces and whatnot. I never ended up actually making them. But the Sonic fan base, just like with Sonic, I'd say Sonic Forces had a very similar, pre-release shit show to that of, Rise of Lyric, and that it just, people, there would be a lot of people who would be pointing out things that seem rather, concerning or whatnot, and then you'd just be attacked by rabid fanboys. There is no middle ground, as in, and of course you'd have people who'd be toxic about their criticisms and whatnot.
Yeah, Sonic Forces. You remember the Sonic Forces Defense Squad?
Yes, the Forces Defense Squad. They were the worst. And the excuses that they made, like for Sonic Boom, the excuse was, it's something new, give it a chance, or it isn't even out yet, whatnot, were like painfully bad excuses, because for one thing, the game looked worse. With Sonic Boom, the game looked worse, with each trailer. And, saying that, just wait for the game to come out before you judge it. It's hypocritical when you think about those who were praising it, acting excited. Like, if you're gonna act excited about something, and then I can also, be critical of it before it comes out. If you're gonna act excited about it before it comes out, then I can be critical about it. It's, double standards in a way. Yeah, it is funny that people thought it was gonna beat Mario Odyssey. And just everything that, like, led up to this game's release was fucking disastrous. Alright, we got Soshi the Yoshi.
It's so...
I will say, I was actually at the party where they revealed Sonic Forces.
Like, I don't know how to put in the words, really.
Yeah. Right. I was actually at the party for, the 25th anniversary. It was a nice party, I would say, and I won't deny that, the reveal of, Project 27, what was at the time called Project 2017, was, hype, I guess you could say, if that's the way, you want to put it. Anyways, we're not going to walk through this whole video, but...
the day that the Sonic 25th anniversary party in San Diego...
And of course, we're at the, Of course, this is still during the, shitty tape mic saga.
And I was one of the many people that got to go. And it was a blast.
Yeah, who cares?
But there's just this certain polished pixel art and hand-drawn graphics that make the graphical styles of games like Freedom Planet and, well...
No.
...or anything. But I'm worried that there will be too much of them. at the very least.
And here's where I'm talking about my fears of there being more classic levels than original levels. And what do you know? There ended up being more classic levels than original levels in Mania. All things considered, it's understandable why. And you know, if they weren't there, then the game probably would have had. The game probably would have been 4 zones long. Of course, you know, the thing is that, you know, Taxman itself wanted original levels. Sega insisted that they'd be, you know, returning zones, which, you know, that was the main gimmick for Generations. And funny enough, that was also the main gimmick for Forces as well. Well, not the main gimmick, one of the many gimmicks of that gimmicky, you know, fucking, that gimmicky, experiment that went wrong. I don't know.
There be 2 or 3. I want original zones, not rehashed zones. But I have heard that this game is going to be longer than Generations.
Anyways, this video is extremely irrelevant, so I'm not gonna...
Although I do hope...
I'm not gonna actually really bother with that one. There was the first Let's Play episode, and I was, like, extremely nervous.
The camera is so... Yeah, I mean, it's just basically talking.
Yeah. You know. Okay, so... Yeah, it is funny how much they have in common. Sonic Mania and Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah. Looks like we got a decent amount of viewers now.
Right.
Shall we...
Hold on.
But, you know... Yeah.
There's nothing really notable about that, about the first Let's Play episode. Anyways, why don't we get this out of the way? Let's talk about the Sonic 2 review. And I apologize in advance for any,
Yep.
I apologize in advance for any, strokes.
The weirdest reviews you've done.
The what? The weirdest reviews, you'd say? It's more than just weird, it's terrible. It's like... artistically bad. Alright, so a little bit of...
there's just so much weird subject matter.
Alright,
like,
so...
I mean...
And, you know, it's subject matter covering what is essentially... There's a bunch of subject matter that's covering what is essentially a bipolar as fuck review of Sonic 2, where on one end I'm really positive, on the other I'm really negative, like... And, you know, in general, the verdict was... The final verdict on the review itself.
Yeah, there's no real consistency to it.
Right. And to be fair, you could... I know somebody else has said the same for the Shadow the Hedgehog review. Because, you know, I had a lot to complain about with that game. But at the end of that review, I said that it's okay. You know, I guess that also has to do with the fact that I just, you know, before writing that review, I replayed all the levels of that game through the neutral path. Because, you know, I already, you know, unlocked it. I thought, why not just replay the game? You know, just to get a good idea, you know, whatnot. You know, it's possible to enjoy Shadow the Hedgehog on just a neutral basis. But I don't know, like, since I uploaded that review, I noticed more issues with the game, like the amount of reused set pieces, and just some of the how just shallow, like how interesting the combat could have been, but how shallow it turned out to be. Even though I still find a lot of fun.
Yeah.
In the
Also,
gunplay.
I noticed that your mic is not connected to Discord.
What? It's not connected to Discord? Oh, what the hell? Huh.
Yeah, I have to do this. Yeah. I guess you have to reconnect your mic.
Alright. Hold on. Let me, Alright. Alright, let's do it. Disconnect my mic. Can you guys hear me? Huh. Alright, so, alright, I'll just change the mic settings on Discord. Shit. Mike, wait a second. No, fuck. Alright. Okay.
Okay, Newman, can you speak? Why not? No, it just looks like he's still stuck in the line for some reason.
Huh. It's weird.
Try voice and video in the app settings.
Oh, wait. Can you hear me, or...?
It could show you the input and output device. No, not on Discord. You're actually muted on Discord.
I'm texting him in the chat.
I can hear you guys. I just... Hold on, now Discord's not picking up the...
Clear. Yeah, clear the permission.
Discord is not picking up.
Try reloading. It might kick you out, but okay. Oh.
Reloading?
Yeah. Go to settings.
User settings, or... Because I don't... Alright. Hold on.
Yeah, user settings.
User settings.
Voice and video.
Oh, okay, voice and video. I see it. Alright, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? No? Oh, what the fuck, man.
Yeah, I can.
Oh, you can hear me? Through Discord?
Yeah, let me
Wait.
speak once again. Let's see. Are you on?
Yeah, I'm on.
He's on Discord. He's still... You hear him on YouTube, but...
Yeah, this is an odd problem.
About to have a mental breakdown.
Yes, microphone. Remember this
Okay.
decision. Phone. Yeah. Output device default.
Alright, so I keep on doing that, yet it's not saving that. Huh.
Yeah, hopefully the problem is that it's not the settings are not saving.
Alright, so I keep on, I do that, and then I escape, and then it's
Just
just...
do remember permissions when...
Remember permissions. Okay.
When you do it again.
Alright. Good God, this is fucking... Wait a second. Okay, I hold on. I fucking get it now. I fucking get it now.
You see, there's like gonna be
Yeah,
like a little
I
input
see
box.
it. I fucking see it right now. Remember this decision. Alright. Can you hear me now? Oh, what the fuck? Son of a bitch. Oh, wait. Oh, so it's saved. That's weird.
Okay, that's good.
That's weird. Can you hear me now? Through Discord?
Okay. Maybe try reloading.
Alright, hold on.
Yeah, try Xing out Discord. And
Alright. I swear, if it ends up on another fucking server, I'm gonna kill myself. Oh, God. Alright. It's not a bad server, I guess, so. Alright. The shit has been... The shit has been fixed! And we lost one viewer. Whatever, let's... Alright.
Let's get this on, because let's get on to the cringe.
Yeah, let's get
We've
on...
been delaying it for way too long.
Right, no, but yeah, no, let's just get this out of the way. So, okay, I didn't go over the backstory. Basically, when I was making this video, I was actually submitting it for a review contest by
Aliester, I believe. Aliester's
A Salieri.
review contest.
It's A Salieri, A Salieri 2's whenever the hell contest. Basically, it was a review contest he would do yearly. I think the last one he ever... I think he kind of stopped that after 2018. I don't know. But, basically we would submit, you know, our reviews into like a contest. There would also be optional rules. Like, you know, certain gimmicks that we would try, that people would like try to implement into their reviews. And like, you know, this was 2016, so the gimmick for 2016 was mascot characters. You know, a bunch of different people tried having mascots in their reviews. You know, most of the time they were generally just, you know, fucking antagonistic at an attempt to be funny or whatnot. I can say, though, from the reviews I had watched, from the other reviewers I had watched, in the contest, that most of the people who tried to have the mascot, it failed miserably for most people, including myself. I would say I'm the worst, but I haven't really I don't know. I haven't really watched the others in a while. I think A Salieri may have privated, deleted, or unlisted the everything related to the 2016 contest. But you know, the only person who actually pulled off the mascot, you know, character right was this guy named S.J. Webster, I think that's his name. I don't know. He did a review of Sonic Lost World, and you know, he took the he actually took the Tails sprite from Sonic Rush, you know, and had his like audio clips from that game. you know, like in the boss during like the boss fight at the Sonic Rush, you would see, you know, on the bottom screen, it would have, you know, Tails with the boss's health next to him, and he would like cheer you on every time, you know, you hit him, or anytime you hit the boss, or you know, anytime, or you know, he'd be like, "Oh no!" anytime, you know, you'd get hit. But you know, that was actually creative. What I did, on the other hand, well, I'm gonna spoil it for you. You see, this was not too long after the whole Derek Savage stuff, and you know, my channel was most well known for the Derek Savage video, or that was the most viewed video. And so I thought, hey, why not have Derek Savage be a recurring character for a recurring mascot character for this review? It was the worst fucking decision I've made when it comes to this channel. Well, at least, and one of the worst decisions I've ever made. Period. You know. Let's just get this over with. And Spacey, Shady Soden, are you still there?
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, we are.
I'm still there.
All right.
Couldn't
So
really find anything to correct with.
all right.
But damn, that idea definitely hurt the review by a long shot.
Oh yeah, I did. It's a relatively short intro, so I don't really need to skip past it. This is a review I don't return to often, so as is, like I don't return to watching very often. But hold on, let me do that so that it doesn't overpower my. Okay. But yeah, so I don't think I remember most from this review. But regardless.
The Hedgehog was a success when it was first released back in 1991.
And of course I go
It
over the
was
basic
very
stuff.
popular. And with the success, a sequel would begin development. This game being Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Sonic 2 doesn't really have much of an interesting development history, as it was pretty much just another game.
That's actually a lie, because there was a lot of interesting little tidbits about Sonic 2's development, such as the fact that it and Sonic CD were at one point the same game, and you know how there was like time travel planned for the game. There's several different
There's also
levels.
way more zones in Sonic 2
yeah,
than there were
not
supposed
to mention like the
It was a
different
completely different direction.
and the different prototypes as well, such as, you know, the Simon Y prototype, which was believed to be long lost after it was stolen before it was, you know, rediscovered. You know, the whole Genocide City stuff. And there was also that hoax about the Sonic 2 Special Edition, which, you know, was a kind of the basis for one of Stolkin's best April Fool's Day reviews. You know, so there is a lot about Sonic 2's development history, more than just, oh, the first game was successful, now here's a sequel. There was more to it than that.
Hype around the game in funnel.
Right, not to mention it you know, led to a trend in game releases coming out on Tuesday, a trend I do not care for because I prefer Friday. But regardless, it started that trend. You know, there was just a lot of hype for the game's release in general. It was a big fucking deal.
Yeah, it also was probably one of the first games to get a worldwide launch at the same time.
Right, exactly. And, you know, to just sell the development history short is one thing. Also, another thing about the review contest, because there was like there was like a limit to how long the video could be, because they didn't want the video to be under 15 minutes long. So I kind of feel like that sort of played a part in how shallow a lot of my descriptions were. You know. And, hold on. So, yeah. Anyways, that's enough about that.
The first game being successful enough to warrant a sequel. Though there are some interesting things to know about the game's development, such as some levels being cut due to time constraints, and the fact that the entire game was made in America, unlike Sonic 1, which
Was it entirely made in America? I don't really know that. if that was
I
true
think it
or
was
not.
mostly made in America.
Right.
Yeah.
We know.
Yeah. And I also wondered the same about, Sonic Adventure 2, because I also heard that was made in, I know that was mostly made in San Francisco, hence the location of the game's, plot and whatnot.
In
But,
Japan. When Sonic 2 was released back in November of 1992, it was a huge success, both critically and financially. And it was the game that made Sonic into a household name. It's still to this day the best-selling Sonic game in the entire series.
again, I find that highly questionable. Was it actually the best selling?
Yeah, I think I need to check that for a second.
Alright.
Best selling Sonic game.
So I heard that the first
Because
one was...
I think it might be the. Let me see. There might be. Because I feel like Sonic. Yeah. Game software sales. Let's see. Yeah, I think Sonic 1 beats it by a whole lot.
Right. Of course, that one...
Because that one has been ported way more times.
Yeah, that one's seen way more releases. I think it was on, like, the Apple TV at one point. I don't know.
Yeah, it's basically on everything at this point.
Yeah. By 2030, they
If you're a
will...
modern day console, there's probably like one or two ways to play Sonic the Hedgehog on it.
And, of course, I'm receiving a phone call as we speak, so I will be right back.
Is Newman back yet?
Not yet.
He's being awfully quiet about this kind of stuff, but nothing really to talk about so far.
Yeah.
Just I want to wait till like the cringy stuff of the review starts. Because oh boy, it's gonna be some.
Oh yes, I remember watching this the first time.
That was fucking stupid. Anyways, I'm back.
Yep.
Hold on. Alright, I'm back. Oh my god. Alright, hold on, I have to do something real quick.
Okay.
So Spacey,
Yeah.
as Nick came out, maybe doing a let's play of a game, maybe. I don't know which game, but I was wondering if you wanted to like appear in an episode or something.
Yeah, I'd be interested in appearing in an episode.
Okay, that's cool. I'll be right back.
Okay. Is the space the only show then?
Alright, I'm fucking back.
Okay, that's good. Chatston's a little busy right now, but let's continue on.
Hold on, I'm looking at the chat real quick. Talk a little bit. Alright. People already watched the review. Well, we're down to 4 viewers. So I guess...
I'm back.
Alright.
Yeah, I guess maybe delaying this for such a long time it made some people uninterested.
Yeah, I know.
What?
Alright, let's get this... this fucking...
Many fans consider it to be the best game in the series. I really don't agree with that, but I can agree that it's a darn good game. Sonic 2 was...
Now here I credit the, the person recording, but I picked, a really bad playthrough because the person playing just sucks. The person I got the footage from fucking sucks at the game, so obviously
I like how I kind of suck at Sonic games. Kind of.
I mean, to be fair...
I don't think I'm the worst, but...
To be fair, you at least recorded your own footage, so... If you're gonna steal footage from somebody else, at least do it, with the intention of getting from somebody who's actually decent at the game.
Getting new ones. It's faster, the levels are even bigger, the platforming is more organic, but it also introduces new stuff like the Spin Dash, Miles Tails Power, and Supersonic. The Spin Dash was a great addition.
And here, I don't even actually show the Spin Dash in action. It's just,
By just talking, just reference it.
Yeah, I don't.
It's just a lack of care that just oozes through this content stuff.
In the first game, where you had to go back a couple spaces and then build up momentum to roll into a breakable passageway, you can just spin dash into said breakable barrier, which also keeps up more of a considerable pace, and is also a quick and easy way of building up speed. I also really love the addition of Tails. Not only is he ridiculously adorable.
Wow, that... Oh, okay, now here it is! Here it fucking is! Here it is! Here it fucking is! Here we go! Here we go!
Yes.
Here we go!
Have it yourself. There he is!
So gay.
There he is! There he is!
Wow, that sounded so gay.
And a fucking gay joke, too! This is...
2015.
This is pure autism! Well, I want to say something about this. I have a term for this. It's a really bad term. Twitter would fucking cancel me.
Horrible. I want to bash my head into the table, but
the fucking
table
okay.
is
The
made of glass. I would break it, and I would get very hurt.
There is a word for this. Starts with A, and it would. I know people would kill me over saying it. It's pure something. I'll tell you what it is. I'll tell you that it's pure something. All right.
Yeah. It reeks of early. It reeks of like late 2000s, early 2010s YouTube, which thank goodness this kind of trend died with the mascot character.
Right.
Goddamn.
And
This a little...
Took the words right out of my mouth.
Right. And but furthermore, the voice I did for Derek Savage wasn't even fitting enough. Like, I couldn't even muster up the energy to do that southern dad accent like the Hey, it's me. Let me try it. Okay. Like, I couldn't even, muster up the energy to do that, southern dad accent, I'm Derek Savage of Derek Savage Productions, and I'm here to say that you're fucking gay. I mean...
Yeah, something like that would have at least sold it way more than...
Right, I could have...
Whatever non-attempt that was.
Instead of the generic dumbass voice that I went with, the deep-voiced dumbass that, was supposed... Again... I'm Derek Savage of Derek Savage Production. I'm here to fuck you up.
But he can also be pretty useful as...
Also, it doesn't go into the review as organically as it should. Like, there's no bounce back between me or the mascot character. I mean, thankfully I didn't do that because that probably would have been extremely cringy, but whatnot. But anyways...
That you might have missed, and can even get an extra hit on a boss. The level design is very different from that of the first game. There's even more of an emphasis on speed than that of the first game. However, it's not so fast that it's stupid. In fact, there's still quite a bit of platforming and exploration to be had that it really blends in together very well. The levels are also much more organic than that of the first one. Some of the platforming even requires interaction, which...
Again, I don't show gameplay to occupy at this point.
Yeah,
which adds more depth to the levels themselves. The level design is overall very imaginative.
I talk about how organic the level design is, but I don't even bother to explain how. Like, I don't even bother to explain the more curvy, terrain or any of the way that the slopes are implemented, or just the, environment-specific mechanics, whatnot. I could have mentioned that, but a company that occupy it, same thing, whatever.
Yeah, this is classic.
However, a big issue that Sonic 2 has
this is Numen for...
It's beta...
Numen.
It's what?
It just reeks of old cringy Numen.
It's beta Numen, that's for sure.
So difficulty. It's easily the most frustrating game out of the whole Genesis trilogy. Now, it's not like the game is badly designed, but there are many occasions where the game has ridiculous hazard and enemy placement. Though it isn't too bad that it ruins the game.
It only really is bad. Okay, here's the thing with classic Sonic games. It's that they're more trial and error. They're more arcadey design in the sense that you have to play them over and over again to get a full feel of the level design. The only level that I can really say is a badly designed is Metropolis Zone, which it is a genuinely bad stage. It's pre-alpha Numen. Yeah, pre-alpha Numen.
For me, as I have played the game quite enough to get a feel for it. However, there is one particular level that comes to mind. Of course, I am talking about Metropolis Zone. Metropolis Zone is pretty much the worst part of the game, as it has the absolute most worst enemy placement.
Absolute most worst enemy placement. Okay, that's a bit
very
redundant.
Grammar is so much.
That is very redundant. That is
in the game. Yeah, it does have somewhat of a decent level design, and the music is catchy as all heck. But even then, those don't...
Oh, you said fuck. Oh, I know why I didn't say hell. one of the rules for the contest was no swearing, and I understand why that was in the sense that, you know, some reviewers were just, you know, I understand the reason behind the no swearing rule in the sense that they wanted people to be more creative with the, you know, language and whatnot. Still though,
really save it from being quite bad. And it's one of, if not one of the worst levels in the classic series. Yes, even when compared to most of the levels in Sonic CD. Then there are the special stages.
and here's the first time I ever mentioned the special stages in any of these reviews, not bearing the fact that I never
shockingly
mentioned.
late, and not the transition between the two isn't exactly that great.
Bearing the fact that I never even actually mentioned it in past videos, you know. I guess it's because I had special gripes with these special stages. Because Oh. It's my cat. He's joined...
Yeah, the other two were alright, but this one was just horrendous.
The special stages were pretty... Again, I still stand by the fact that these are some of the worst special stages in the series. But...
which just plain suck. Granted, they are graphically impressive for a Sega Genesis game, but they are
for a Sega
horrendously
Genesis
designed.
game, that's implying that, you know, the Sega Genesis was some sort of underpowered system at the time of release, which...
Yeah, the Genesis can do a lot of cool effects.
I mean, yeah, sure, some games looked better on Super Nintendo than Sega Genesis. Some games look better on Sega Genesis than Super Nintendo. But you would never see a game like, you know, Gunstar Heroes on, you know... Well, maybe you would see something like that on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Super Nintendo could probably use Super Effects chip in Mode 7 and stuff.
Right.
But
I mean...
Gunstar Heroes definitely has the Genesis vibe that just wouldn't be...
Right, there is certain, like, technologically interesting, you know, things about the Sega Genesis. So to act like it's such an underpowered system, to say, this is really impressive. Like, bitch, this is nowhere near the level of technicality of other games on the Sega Genesis, like, you know, the Traveler's Tales Toy Story game, which I also know was on Super Nintendo, but still, that's a much more technically, you know, interesting game than Sonic 2. There's also, Gunstar Heroes, you know, Vector Man, you know, hell, even Sonic 3D Blast was, to some extent, pretty impressive for some of the things it did.
Yeah, the 3D intro was pretty impressive for the...
In fact, dare I say that the 3D Blast special stages were more impressive than Sonic 2 special stages.
Right.
Because I think they were way more convincing and way less choppy.
And they
still
were
easy as fuck.
I mean,
still sucked, but
to be fair, I'm okay with them being easy as fuck for Sonic for that game, because there was no Super Sonic to begin with, and besides, you kind of needed them for the final boss, I think. I don't know. I never beat Sonic 3D Blast, and I don't think I ever will, because it's not necessarily a fun game to begin with, but anyways.
Most of the time, you won't be able to see what's coming ahead of you, which results in either missing control of rings or getting hit by an obstacle and losing even more rings. Then there's Tails, who can also collect rings in the special stages, but instead of having the rings that he collects add up to your ring counter, he has his own ring counter, which makes it possible for him to lose rings also. That mixed with his
that's the most
AI
part, in my opinion, about
adds
the
to the overall
stages.
insanity of these special
Yeah, it's
stages.
They just
yeah.
it just
they
makes it hard to do.
Yeah. Let's see, imagine having Wild Woody on the Genesis. Was it on the Genesis? I thought it was on the 32X or whatever.
It was on the Sega CD.
Sega CD.
Wild Woody was on Sega CD.
Right. Yeah.
It was a Sega CD exclusive in 1995.
Ooh, there was also I forgot they were called. They were like, oh my fucking god! I told him not to come into the fucking kitchen. Oh, Christ. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyways, let's get this dog shit
What
over
makes
with.
them even worse is that even if you...
I was thinking of Lightning Force. That was what I was thinking. I think it's called Lightning Force. It was, a series of Sega Genesis games. Yeah, wait until the hero special stages. Those
make
are...
it to the last round, yet you failed to collect the needed amount of rings before you get to the end, then the game...
Oh my god, I stutter! I stutter so fucking much in this review. I am tempted to make a really offensive joke, but moving on.
You with the Chaos Emerald. Ugh!
It's like you weren't confident in your recording skills,
Right.
which really you weren't.
I
don't
rushed
really
this
have
out.
good recording skills.
I rushed this out, so also there is that at the end, which I think I did do a little bit in the Sonic Heroes review. I don't know why I did that in the Heroes review. Probably as a callback to this, but stuttering intensifies.
You're only hating on the special stages because you suck at them, you punk troll.
Ah! Ah! What the fuck? Shut the hell up!
Oh my!
What the fuck is this shit? Oh, hi, Mario fan 123311. Anyway,
Things have changed.
Thankfully, if you do manage to beat all the special stages and collect all the emeralds, then you obtain Supersonic. Not only is Supersonic a glorified DBZ reference, but
whatever.
it's pretty much Jesus mode.
He's basically Jesus mode.
Supersonic is invincible and even faster. He's pretty much a game breaker, and he is very fun to use. But one problem I do have with Supersonic is that every time Supersonic is used, it cuts off the stage music, the repetitive tune that repeats over and over again.
And the fact that they just force it on you, like,
it gets very annoying and very irritating.
like they had multiple different buttons on the controller. You think they could have sectioned one off for the Supersonic button? Like, I don't know.
They fixed that in 3 because all you do is tap jump button twice.
That was still annoying though, because that I think that canceled out the elemental shields.
Oh, it did. Oh.
Which, to be honest, I think are much more fun to use than Supersonic. That is, unless you have the electric shield with Supersonic, in which case, I don't know. I know Hypersonic
Pretty much, yeah.
is much better, whatnot, but
Very quickly.
Oh, like your voice?
Hey, the mascot's not wrong there,
Sonic 2 also has a darn impressive presentation. The game
It has a darn impressive presentation. Where's that darn fourth Chaos Emerald, man?
has some very smooth graphics that still hold up to this day. But what holds up these great graphics is a great art direction. Every zone in this game is so detailed, yet are still wonderfully wacky and vibrant. It's just great. The soundtrack is also great. It's catchy, memorable, and very well composed. There's also a lot of variety with the OST, which is also a factor.
Please!
Here it is. Here it fucking is. Here's the worst cutaway joke ever. The worst fucking cutaway joke ever. Get ready for this. Get ready.
Okay,
That's nothing
I'm
compared to
prepared.
Cool Cat likes to rock and roll.
Oh no, no!
No!
My God, this is really what you decide to do.
This is pure autism. It is.
Yeah, autism, honest, and I want to put my head in a bucket and jump off the fucking balcony.
Right.
Not really, but god damn it. I would put a bucket on my head. No.
Yeah, I'm leaving the room. Bye.
Wait a second. Associate Yoshi asks, I still want to know who that guy in the image is. It's Derek Savage. You know, who was in the, you know, the cool cat guy. Somebody's saying it still made more sense than a Family Guy cutaway gag. Really? Does it really make more sense than that? I don't know.
Overall, Sonic 2 is a great example of how to do a sequel right. It took the same gameplay formula and expanded off of it while staying true to the original game. And it's thanks to this game that the Sonic series became the juggernaut of a franchise that it was back then, and kinda still is to this day. However, this is only the icing on the cake, as next time, we will take a look into the highest point of the series, that being Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
And that's the end of the video. Also, I prefer the quote-unquote bad ending. Right. So, you know,
we got through this one relatively sane.
Yeah. There was a comment, and looking at great review. I absolutely love Sonic 2. It was the first game that I ever played, man. Great review, dude. I am subscribing. Oh my god. Low standards. Low fucking standards. But I will say, that in the contest, there were like 2 ranks. First, there was middle of the road, which were the reviews that got 0 votes and were basically just, they weren't bad, but they weren't good either. Then you had, the reviews that got negative votes, and they were on the bad side. They were on the bad section. And then you had the ones that got the positive votes, so they were obviously on the good section and whatnot. And I got 0 votes at all. I did not. They weren't. I didn't get any negative votes or any positive votes. I was just in the middle of the road. And basically, in the critique, they basically critiqued it for the bad gameplay footage, the unfunny jokes, the mediocre mic quality, whatnot, and but it was only passed off as just okay, just mediocre, nothing truly terrible. But funny thing, this guy Alien Run, he left this one comment. This guy was also in the contest. But his review actually may have actually gotten, the award for the worst review in the contest.
Oh.
Which is ironic, because in the comment section of this video, he was saying, saying basically, wow, I must say, this is the most generic, or the second most generic Sonic 2 review I've ever watched. By my own standards, I'd say this review is quite crap. And, he's not wrong. It is quite a crap review. That said, I wasn't the one who got, I wasn't the one who was awarded with the worst, review. I actually did watch this guy's review. I think it was on that, game, VVVVVV, the one that's just like, it's like, go all flip-flop, whatnot. It's a disorganized mess of a video, whatnot.
Even by 2015 standards video? I think it took me to find that review.
Anyways.
I need to see this. Oh. It's not unless there's something I don't know.
Anyways, and, but he said stuff like, you go over all the positive points with very little detail, and then exaggerate the bad points, and neither points add on to the review as a whole. Again, logical, You know, he was making valid critiques and whatnot. It's just that, you know, his, you know, review was not... His own review wasn't very good either. But, you know, he's right about my particular video. But then he also goes, hope you took my criticisms well. Which, again, I did. I don't... You know, I'm fine with the criticisms he left, even if, by his own standards, you know... I think he, like, privated... No, not privated. He unlisted that old review. Anyways, he said, this is how you do a Sonic 2 review, right? And basically it was a link to the, you know, the Geek Critiques Sonic 2 review. Which I haven't watched, if I'm being completely honest. I've seen a couple of Geek Critiques videos, though.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of reviews as well. I think the Sonic 2 one was pretty good.
Yeah. Anyways, that's enough of that. He was saying, yeah, I couldn't find the review. Soshi the Yoshi said. I assume he's referring to Alien Run's review. Whatnot. Also, in the you know, in the Whenever the Hell critique video, they did actually call out Alien Run for talking shit on other people's reviews. So that's funny.
That's interesting.
Alright, so the next one is the Sonic 3 review, and... Alright, so you were talking about the VVV review by Alien Run. So anyways, with the 3 and Knuckles review... for one thing, I titled this one differently, saying, you know, why Sonic 3 and Knuckles is the best game in the Sonic series, instead of just Chain FPL reviews, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, Sonic Retrospective Part 4, whatnot. Oh, hey, there you are. Hello, Nick. How are you? Ooh, this guy had, like... That dude had, like, a lot of subscribers.
He really likes us.
Yeah. I know... I think... I don't know if it was I Hate Everything who, you know, gave this guy a shout out or whatnot, but yeah, I think this guy may have found me through the Derek Savage video. I don't know. Regardless, for this review, I did take the criticisms from the Sonic 2 review into account. So I think I genuinely tried to make this one good, especially since at the time I considered this my favorite. At the time this, you know, I made this review, I considered this game my favorite Sonic game, so I wanted to do it at least justice. I'm not sure if I would still consider it my favorite nowadays, but, you know. Anyways, of course, it still has the same faux pas from the previous reviews. Today's review...
at least still consider it.
So it's at least average, but...
With Sonic 2 being the success it was, a third installment would inevitably begin development. However, they weren't just going to make another sequel. In fact, Sonic Team was determined to make the best Sonic game yet. In fact, the project was so big, so damn ambitious, there was too much for a sequel Sega Genesis cartridge to handle. So, they decided to give the game the good old Darth Maul treatment and split into 2 cartridges. The first half simply being called Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and the second half being called Sonic and Knuckles. Sonic 3 would never be released on February 1994, with Sonic and Knuckles soon following several months after. However, Sonic and Knuckles would come with a special lock-on technology, which would allow you to lock Sonic 3 onto Sonic and Knuckles to get Sonic 3 and Knuckles, pretty much letting you play the game how they originally intended for you to play it. Now,
some parts of the audio is just extremely quiet.
Genius idea this was.
Like, more quiet than it should be.
I think it's a consequence of your duct tape microphone.
Right.
Kind of like a
Thankfully, you got Blue Yeti because that's way better.
boom in the time.
Yeah. Well, I've been using a Blue Snowball for at
such a
least
part of
since
being able to play the full game.
2019.
Yeah, that sounds
Oh
good.
boy, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. When people talk about their favorite Sonic games, this title is often brought up. Many gamers and Sonic fans consider this to be one of the best games in the franchise. The magnum opus.
The knees bees.
Big shebang. And you know what? I easily agree. In fact, not only do I consider it to be the best...
I could have, like, cut that down to just people considered it the best, but I had to add in, you know, the good old, the knees bees, the big shebang. You know, I it's not like, you know, yeah, it's a neat, you know, the European. Also, I neat that I have like the European box set for Sonic 3.
series. Not only do I consider it
Yeah,
to be
it's-
the best
the
Sega
European box
Genesis
was
game,
kinda odd.
at least from what
Yeah.
I've played so far, but it's
Yeah, it
easily
is a
one of the
weird-
best 3D Sega
It's a weird box art too. Like, for one, you have the, I forgot what it's called. The zone.
Night
Carnival Night. You have Knuckles, you know, hanging on like the ledge of the freaking whatnot. Sonic has 3 fingers on here, but he also has 1 finger over here. So that's 4 fingers instead of 3, which is supposed to be 3 fingers for Sonic 3. This is not Sonic 4. This is Sonic 3. Why does he have 4 fingers? That is weird. And yeah, Knuckles looks very derpy. Not as derpy as he does look in, you know, Sonic Underground, but
controls ever.
I'm probably gonna skip around in this video because it's like 18 minutes long.
And one of my favorite games of all time. But why is that the case? Why is it so favored among the Sonic fan base? These questions will be answered in this review. So sit back and relax as we look into Sonic 3 and Knuckles and find out what makes it so damn good.
And so here is the Super Starfy 2002 said I played Sonic 4. I liked it. Well, I'm glad.
Depends on what you're
I mean,
about. Episode 1 was kind of bad. Episode 2 was kind of okay-ish.
you know, I was responding to Super Starfy fan because they said they liked Sonic 4. I get it because Nick said we don't talk about Sonic 4. If you like Sonic 4, that's fine. I think it's terrible.
Episode 1's terrible. Episode 2 is okay.
It's Episode 2 is mediocre. It has some high points, but it also has some low points. I haven't played those games in years, but I remember just not liking them very much. I think the last time I played Sonic 4 was in 2017 or 2016. I don't really remember. But, yeah, imagine if out of nowhere Sega announced Episode 3. If they ever were to make Episode 3, it would probably be in the style of Mania, and that would be, it would be, you know, weird, unorthodox, but, you know, I will say I doubt we'll ever get another numbered Sonic game, another numbered classic Sonic game after Sonic 4. But, you know.
In terms of presentation, this game greatly surpasses all the other previous games we've talked about in this retrospective. Yes, even Sonic CD. The sprite work has improved since the last entry, and the sprites are very polished. The Pelarac scrolling is downright groovy, and the animation is so damn fine. I also really like the character models that were used in the
So damn fine.
used for Sonic and Knuckles. One nitpick
Like,
I
boom.
do have about the
Like, my day be
is
so
that
fine, then
one
boom.
is to have animation
My day be so fine, then boom, the Numen from Pac-Land Sonic 2 review.
reserved for cutscenes. This isn't all too bad, but it does make Sonic feel a little bit too static in the cutscenes. Although I might be asking a bit much, and after all, the sprites have enough personality in the actual gameplay to at least keep enough of a spirit to them. But, as always, it's the art direction that seals the show. You know how I said that I thought Sonic CD had the best art direction in the series? Well, kinda. However, I would say it's more tight with Sonic CD. While Sonic City's art direction works more in terms of creativity, Sonic 3 and Knuckles more without detail, and attention to said detail. The foregrounds and backgrounds are filled with so many unique details that add to these wacky, colorful, and creative zones. It gives this game a huge sense of scale, although attention to detail isn't just only an application to the art direction, but also in a lot of other aspects in regards to this game. But I will get into that later. And then there's the soundtrack.
I don't think I actually ever get into that later. Yeah, I think I just like...
Yeah, once again, it's kind of like organization.
Yeah.
Which is just legendary.
I'm gonna skip by this point.
Pleased with the sound quality of the Genesis, which he didn't want to be credited. The sound quality has improved, the compositions are fantastic, and there's a lot of variety in the music. Some tracks like Angel Island Act 1 and 2 are calm and relaxing. Some tracks like Adjust...
Yeah, I mentioned that in the review, Soshi the Yoshi. I mentioned Michael Jackson. I just, skipped past that point.
Zone Act 1 and 2 and Mushroom Hill Zone Act 1 and 2 are upbeat and jazzy. Some tracks like Lava Reef Act 2 are very ambient and atmospheric. Other tracks like Big Arms theme, Nucleus Zone are very intense and dramatic. And then there are the fast-paced and kick-ass tracks like Lava Reef Act 1 and Flying Battery Zone, as well as some triumphant and uplifting tracks like Sky Sanctuary Zone. But then there's also Ice Cap Zone, which is surprisingly enough very emotional.
I don't really have
What's
much...
also great about the sound...
this review is not necessarily giving me enough material to riff on, as is.
Yeah, I mean, this is an improvement over Sonic 2, but there isn't really anything that...
Yeah, there isn't anything
the soundtrack is just
bad.
Wonderful.
I'd say so far...
So, how about that gameplay, though?
Oh, Corey. Okay, there was that. How about that gameplay, though? And I didn't do it in a... I just said it. I didn't do it in a really tongue-in-cheek manner, rather more... I can't fucking talk. I mean, I don't think I meant for that to be, I don't know. That's nothing compared to... I would say probably some of the issues with this review are like, how I'm trying to be wacky, funny with saying certain words like, it is groovy, it is so damn fine, whatnot. And I used to do that a lot in these older videos. I remember in the thoughts about, Sonic Mania and Project 2017, I was, when I was talking about Sonic Mania, I was like, the animation looks so fucking smooth, or I said something, I know, it was something that my friend Gur would quote a lot, but
What does Sonic by Knuckles add to the formula that hasn't already been added before? What has been improved since last time? Quite a lot, actually. One of the biggest new features is the addition of multiple playable characters. Alongside with Sonic, you also get to fully play as Miles Tails Prower, and then there's the new character introduced into this game, that being Knuckles the Echidna. What makes this addition so great is that while all three of these characters control very similarly to each other, each of them has their own unique abilities that allows them to access different parts of the levels that other characters can't, which overall makes a playthrough with each of these characters feel different and unique. Tails can use his two tails to fly. It's pretty much the easy mode of the game. Knuckles, though, is pretty much the most unique out of all three playable characters. He can glide in the air, climb on walls, making him...
I must say the video quality is pretty meme-worthy, but...
jump art out of all the three playable characters, which
Yeah.
makes him pretty much the hard mode of the game. You even get some exclusive boss fights. Overall, playing as Knuckles feels like...
Again, I don't show any of the stuff, and I will mention that
But what
I
about
did...
Sonic, you may ask?
I
What
do
does he
recall
use?
having some,
Well, he-
technical difficulties with some of these reviews. Like, again, I tried getting footage for the, for some of Knuckles' exclusive boss fights, like the the final Mecha Sonic fight with Knuckles, but like the file kept on getting corrupted, so I ended up removing that entire section out of the review, whatnot. You know,
Yeah.
I downloaded most of the footage with FreeMake Video Downloader, which used to be reliable until they started shoving in the watermark for the free version, and because if you wanted to get rid of the watermark, you had to pay for the full version. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a stupid thing. Because, let me tell you, the most annoying thing about a lot of the free trials is watermarks.
It completely destroys the point of having, even a free trial, because, of the ugly ass watermark that, you're like, oh, hey, you want to use our software? Well, fuck you. Here's a watermark. I mean, we'll still let you use it, but here's an ugly watermark. And until, of course, you pay for it. And I get they want us to pay for, the software. But, again, the watermark, just no. Just no. Like, that's why I now, anytime I need to, collect footage of a game I don't even own, or, need like a quick way to reference something, I just, use third party. Well, not third party, more, I don't know how to correctly put it, just a, anything but FreeMake Video Downloader. But
the Insta Shield is a little mini shield that can be activated while.
and here I talk about the Insta Shield, yet I don't even bother to show the Insta Shield in action.
That's a bit hard to reach. Some people say that the Insta Shield is useless, but I completely disagree with that. In fact, the Insta Shield has gotten me out of a couple of dangerous situations before. It's really all about skill, so if you're able to master it and know when to use it at the right times, then
again, one of the faux pas of, using other people's footage for reviews is that you're unable to... It makes talking about certain things a little bit harder because, you kind of want to be able to display, demonstrate how to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
would come and help in the long run. However, Sonic's moveset doesn't end there. You can also obtain different abilities through the new Elemental Shields. The Elemental Shields are shields that not only keep you from losing rings when getting hit, but also protect you from certain environmental hazards. The Fire Shield protects you from lava and fire. The Bubble Shield keeps you from drowning.
Once again, I don't even show footage for most of the things I'm talking about here.
The Electric Shield keeps you from getting electrocuted, as well as attracting rings, which also makes it good for also getting extra lives. Now, while all the characters do get to use the Elemental Shields, Tails and Knuckles mainly stick to their formal abilities. But when it comes to Sonic, the Elemental Shields replace the Insta Shield with a different ability altogether that fits with said Elemental Shield. These abilities range from a Fire Dash, to a Double Jump, to a Balance Attack. Overall, the Elemental Shields are very useful, especially when you're playing as Sonic. That, and if you take advantage of the abilities that come with the Elemental Shields, you can pull off some pretty crazy.
Of course, there are the little audio hiccups I have, like I accidentally say elemental shield, twice.
Oh yeah, the elemental shields.
The
That's
elemental
totally not redundant.
shields. Yeah, it's totally not redundant,
Shit. Sonic 3 Knuckles easily has some of the best level design in any 2D platformer I've ever played.
Platformer
Speed, platforming, and exploration, and blend them together perfectly. One thing is the exploration. These zones are huge.
Okay, so this little bit here is actually supposed to be where I go, these zones are huge, while I show, the level maps. It's actually supposed to be a callback to, Factor 5 Fanatics Turrican 1 review, where he goes, these levels are huge, when talking about, the exploration aspects. So yeah, these were a little callback, whatnot. Kind of cringy in retrospect, but I do get it. Does help get the point across about how immense the level design is in 3 Knuckles.
In fact, these levels are almost on par with the levels in Turrican 2 when it comes to size and scale.
And of course, wait, what?
Of course, Turrican.
Yeah, I do.
Wait,
Whoa, is that a Turrican reference?
Yeah. I wait, what'd you say, Shady Stoughton?
I gotta go. I got some stuff I have to do.
All right, see you later, man.
That's it.
See ya.
Anyways,
Let's get back.
Yeah, I referenced Turrican in these videos. Wow, that is crazy, yo. And yeah, it's also indirectly a Factor 5 Fanatic reference too. So, like, not the Turrican thing, but more so just the way I enunciated how big the levels were.
In that game, that's saying a lot. There are so many things in these zones, so many routes, so many detours, so many hidden areas with little goodies, so many ways to just go through a level. It also adds to the whole sense of scale that Sonic Knuckles provides and makes these stages feel all the more like big roles. One thing that's just so great about the level design is how speed and platforming are put together. There are parts of the game where you're just blast through set pieces, but oftentimes the game slows you down a bit to go through some platforming challenges. But due to how excellent out platforming is in this game, depending on how skilled and badass you are, you could probably just whiz through the platforming like no tomorrow. The platforming in general is very solid. For one thing, the platforming and obstacles are all mostly environment-based, making level designs feel all the more tangible. Yeah, there are some instances of platforming, but even then, they're still all laid out very well. That and I have nothing to complain about. A lot of the level design is also based around interaction, making level designs feel very tangible. This game also has some very strong variety.
I could have showed how tangible the level designs were, but, of course.
But sometimes an event usually occurs in the middle.
Yeah, you're not using other people's footage. You're using other people's footage, that's the problem that can happen.
Yeah, I think I've already, run that point into the ground.
But other times it can entirely change the look of the level. This game never gets stale.
I don't know, should we move on to the next video?
There isn't a single zone in this game that is even
Maybe we should
bad to
speed up
begin
this
with.
video.
Well, the only zone that comes...
Yes.
2x speed. That can always get everyone up to speed while not skipping any part of the review.
Close, barely is Sandopoulos zone. But that's only due to the second act. The first act is perfectly fine. Hell, the second act isn't even that bad, especially when you compare it to Legs of Labyrinth Zone from Sonic 1 and Metropolis Zone from Sonic 2.
And again, this was only the mentality of, Labyrinth Zone, bad. When it's not really a bad level, it's just an annoying one. It is the worst level in Sonic 1. But it's not terrible. There are way worse video game levels. It's still playable, but...
Yeah.
One thing that's also a major improvement in comparison to the previous titles are the special stages.
People always
The previous
exaggerate their
titles, the
hate for
special stages either
things.
controlled really badly or were
Which,
just badly designed in
even
general.
included Labyrinth Zone in Sonic 1.
Right.
But that's not the case in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. For one, instead of having to collect 50 rings and jumping into a portal at the end of a checkpoint or at the end of a level, you actually have to go to the special stages by jumping into a giant warp ring that's hidden in an area of a level. Which takes away the tediousness of trying to get into a special stage.
Awkward
The second
pause
reason is that
there.
The special stages are both controlled very decently and are very well designed. In these special stages, you are tasked with touching all the blue spheres while avoiding the red ones. But be careful, as with every blue sphere you touch, each one turns into a red sphere. That, and you also don't want to take too long.
Awkward stutter.
The more time you take, the faster Sonic Zone becomes the special stages, which in turn can lead to things getting very hectic. The thing I love about the special stages is that they are challenging, but in a good way. They can get very hard, but not in the Sonic 2 special stages kind of way, where they just throw in a bunch of shit at you that you can't react to in time. But it's more about skill over memorization, which I easily prefer. As always, being all the special stages grants you the ability to use Super Sonic, which has not changed since Sonic 2, which is perfectly fine. Now, while you can collect all 7 Chaos Emeralds, you can also acquire an additional set of Super Emeralds. The second set of special stages are much harder than the first, like, really harder. Beating all the Super Emerald stages grants you Hyper Sonic. As I'm writing this review, I have yet to collect all the Super Emeralds.
And I still have yet to collect all the Super Emeralds
really OP.
in the current day of
What I've heard,
2020,
Hyper
so...
Sonic is apparently gave kids
Man.
epileptic seizures. In addition, Tails and Knuckles also get super forms of their own.
I mean, Supersonic just makes the games way easier, and I mean, they're definitely it's definitely a rewarding mechanic, but
anyways, with all that stuff out of the way, there is one particular thing about this game that I want to briefly mention, that being the stage progression. In the games preceding Sonic 3 Knuckles, whenever you beat a zone, you would randomly port to the next zone without any explanation. Now, this wasn't a bad thing, as this was a standard in platformers at the time. However, Sonic 3 Knuckles takes this a little bit further. In all the zones, every second act kicks off where the first act ends, and in between every zone, you get a neat little cutscene that serves as an explanation for how you got to said environment. Now, this might seem like too much of a small deal to be praising, but this does significantly add to the game's immersion. This little detail makes
epileptic seizures. You know, also, you know, going back to that, yeah, I did say, did I? Yeah, my mind kind of like went blank when I mentioned the epileptic seizures part, but like, did I actually straight up? I said it was rumored, right? I didn't just. Did I say it was rumored that it was that they caused epileptic seizures? The hypersonic. Because.
I think there's. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, as is, I think that was only really a rumor. I'm not sure if that actually had happened, and if so, I'm pretty sure it had no bearing on the removal of, you know, of hypersonic from the canon. So
yeah, this sensation of traveling through a big world, or in this case, a big island. To me, this was the first Sonic game to truly give off an adventurous vibe, which made this game feel all the more grand. Yeah, there was one instance of this in Sonic 2, but bitches beware, Sonic 3.
But bitches beware.
Took this to a whole new level. What's surprising about Sonic 3...
So, yeah, I do mention some things that I feel at the time most people didn't really mention, like the logical stage progression and, well, as logical as you can get in a Sonic game, but without it having stagnant level design, but...
Now, the plot is very simple and straightforward. Sonic and Tails discover a mysterious island named Angel Island, and they go over to investigate, to which they are ambushed by Knuckles, a red kidna who is also the guardian of the Master Emerald.
Hyper
Knuckles
cringe.
is tricked by Dr. Eggman into thinking that Sonic is after the Emerald, and throughout the game, he constantly screws with Sonic. Meanwhile, Dr. Eggman tries to bring the Death Egg back into space after it was damaged by Sonic in the previous game. This game didn't use text boxes to tell a story, but rather uses its environments, the music, and the character animation to tell a story. With most of the levels in this game, you get a feeling that a plot is going on in the background, which adds to the immersion of the game. This game can get pretty epic at times, especially in the last 4 zones.
It can get pretty epic.
Especially when it gets to lava.
Yo, epic gamer moment, XD.
Closely observed. This is one of those rare games that makes a story and gameplay flawlessly.
Yes, Sushi Yoshi, how long is this gonna go on?
Is that they sort of tell a story in progression.
Yeah, it feels like there's a lot of filler in these reviews.
Right.
And then he eventually discovers his true powers to the chaos.
Maybe increasing it to 2x would probably make it even more horrible.
The gameplay, the setting, the music, the tension, it's overall one of the greatest climaxes I have seen of any video game, and was overall the perfect way to wrap the classic.
Yeah, you feel so you say this kind of stuff so casually.
Not only did it reflect the gameplay style,
right,
but it also set the standards for what a Sonic game could be. And to be honest, there is yet to be a Sonic game that can come close to this work of art. Due to this being so creative, so polished, so huge, so ambitious, and just so epic, I can't help but regard Sonic game as
yeah, you always talked a little bit slow.
But one of the best games I've played, period.
Right.
If you're a Sonic fan, or is just a fan of the side-scrolling genre, and haven't played this, then I highly recommend playing this any way you can. Your best bet is to get it on the Sega Mega Collection, which comes along with other Genesis titles that I've reviewed. However, you won't be able to play Sonic 3 Knuckles right away, as you'll have to unlock it first. How do you unlock it? I'm not telling you. You look it up for yourself, you lazy dipshits.
Ha! What a way to, of course,
Next time on the
insult the audience.
We'll take a look at everything else that came out.
That's
the best
fun.
way to get fewer engagement.
Yeah. Lazy
and
dipshits.
much more. Until then, thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. That's whenever the hell it gets uploaded. I'm pretty terrible with my upload schedule anyway.
Well, at least I'm self-aware about my terrible about my terrible upload schedule, because it's true, I still haven't finished this retrospective. Oh, we got some notifications.
Yep, 5 years later.
Third time's the charm. Yep. Okay, so we have filler content, you know, here, whatnot. This is one of my other high viewed videos, but it's dumb.
Yep, but now we get into one of the ones that are the most impressive. The everything else about classic Sonic. This is basically a transition point.
Yeah, this was supposed to be like
Numen.
an epilogue for the classic reviews. And I would honestly say this is also one of the better reviews, except for one detail. That being that in the first part, the audio mixing is complete ass.
Yep.
And, you know, but yeah, I kind of plan to just redub this first part because like the audio mixing just makes it unwatchable.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, I'm just gonna yeah, so I plan script wise, you know, in terms of content, it was, you know, it's fine. But script wise it's fine. It's just, and I do talk about some interesting things. It's just that, you know, it's the audio mixing, and I have contemplated just remastering this one particular video just so that, you know, with the blue snowball microphone.
Yeah.
But oh shit! Wait, shit. Let's see how much I improved it with that. Whatnot.
Fun fact, did you know that the original Sonic the Hedgehog was at one point going to be ported to home computers such as the CX Spectrum, Commodore 64, and the Amiga 500? Sega had given the license...
He's so quiet!
...of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, Numen is like...
However, this really didn't go anywhere, as due to Sonic being a huge success, Sega wanted to keep Sonic exclusive to their own platform.
Sonic.
Thus, the home
Isn't
computer
this so
Sonic the
good?
Hedgehog never came to fruition.
I think my old microphone was wearing out at this point.
Yeah.
I don't think... Oh, I'm not entirely sure if that's the case, because I still...
This meant that Sonic games would start at
I mean, I don't know. I don't think I... This was like 2017, I think. I don't know when I got... Or when I started using
to a shit ton of consoles,
Blue Snowball, but...
the 6th generation to our current generation. Aside from the infamously bad Game Boy Advance port of Sonic 1, there's nothing really much to talk about in terms of these different ports to do the mobile re-release for Sonic CD. After this remake was released in December of 2011, Taxman would then team up with another fellow Sonic fan from Zone and Scrap Brain Zone. The zones in 8-bit Sonic 1 for Game Gear and Master System are pretty much new. Well, there still is some speed to be had, and with a lot more of an emphasis on platforming. It's also much more linear than the Genesis game. For what it's worth, it's pretty decent, and there is some fun to be had, though it's nowhere near the Genesis counterpart in terms of quality, and Sonic's control feels a little too slippery. I will say it does have some really catchy soundtracks. 8-bit Sonic 2 is pretty much the same case, however, this one is hard as balls, like so hard I couldn't even get past the first zone. The thing is, though, is that it's not even really a good challenge as much as it is a stupidly unfair challenge. A challenge that's just poorly designed, if you will. Don't get me wrong, Sonic 2 on the Genesis also had its fair share of frustration and bullshit, but not nearly as much nor on the same level as 8-bit Sonic 2. One thing that I will also want to bring up is that the game is pretty dark. If you fail to get all 7 of the Chaos Emeralds before facing Silver Sonic, you'll get the bad ending, and in the bad ending it's implied that Tails fucking dies. Moving onward. Next up is Sonic Chaos and Sonic Triple Triple, or as they are known as in Japan, Sonic and Tails, and Sonic and Tails 2. Out of all of the Game Gear titles, these two games are the closest to the Genesis titles in terms of gameplay and level design, featuring levels with high, low, and a middle path with plenty of secrets, hills and ramps, loops, springs, you know, the Sonic norm. Although there are some differences in gameplay, like temporary power-ups that change Sonic sneakers into rocket shoes or spring shoes. Out of all of the Game Gear titles, these are probably what I consider to be the best of the Game Gear titles. I'd say that they're pretty good games, although being Game Gear Sonic titles, the controls do feel a bit slippery. Sonic Triple Trouble was the first game in which Fang the Sniper made his first appearance. Fang is a pretty cool yet very underutilized character. That can actually be said about a lot of side characters in the Sonic series, especially if we're talking about the classic era. Next up is Sonic Blast, right?
Well, this is fun.
Oh. Did I hear you for a little bit?
Wait. Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
We're back.
wait, you can hear me. Okay, good.
Yes.
Alright, technical difficulties there for a second. Anyways,
Do we have to
at this point,
go back?
No, we don't. We're not going back. We're not backtracking at all.
Yeah, I was just gonna mention that that the Sonic 1 Bridge Zone theme was sampled in a song. And the fact that I also reviewed Sonic Chaos on my channel, which is a shameless plug. Wink wink. Go to my channel.
But yeah, what song was it sampled in?
I don't remember which song.
Oh.
I think I'll look it up.
Right. But yes, now when I talk about Sonic Blast, is when the audio mixing comes back with a vengeance.
I like to call it Sonic Blast from the ass.
Sonic Blast from the ass. I'll probably still...
What about Sonic Blast of Diarrhea?
Blasted diarrhea. Yeah. I don't know, I much prefer Sonic Blast belongs in the trash! But that was already taken, so...
The reason why I say this is because, well, look at it. The game just looks like pure shit. I see they were trying to go for Megaton-esque graphics, and I can at least...
Oh, I know the song. I believe it's Jared Jackson's Everywhere I Go.
Jared Jackson's Everywhere I Go. I gotta remember that.
Inhibitions. Why the hell even bother when the results end up looking like it came out of Dog's anal cavity? Yes, I get it. Graphics aren't everything in the video game. But in this game's case, both the art direction and the graphics practically ruin it. Aside from that, Sonic Blast is just plain forgettable.
Yeah, Sonic Blast is just hard to look at.
Next up is Sonic Drift 1 and 2.
Yeah, it's like Donkey Kong Country, but suckish, which...
Right.
Oh, even Donkey Kong Land looked better.
Pretty much what I can say
Right.
about these two. They're pretty forgettable. Our favorite Two-Toed Fox also got his own two pair of games, these being Tails Sky Patrol and Tails Adventures. Tails Sky Patrol is a game in which you control Tails flying through different locations. Tails comes equipped with a ring that is not only used to attack enemies, but also manipulate the environment around you.
So yeah, the audio mixing makes the video just... And it gets worse.
Videography is not considered to be one of Sonic's main features, but as I've said before...
I can barely understand what I'm saying here.
Yeah, Numen, hey guys, Numen here, and today I'm going to have my audio increase to the point where no one can hear me.
Right. Okay, so at this point where I talk about Mean Bean Machine, I do actually mention Puyo Puyo, I think. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah, Puyo Puyo.
Yeah, I mentioned Puyo Puyo, so yeah, there's that. But I've never played a Puyo Puyo game outside of Mean Bean Machine. So
May have to teach you the ropes one day.
yeah, you probably will. Because I know Spacey here is a big Puyo Puyo fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I can tell from like the
I can probably tell you a lot about the characters, and it pretty much makes a decent chains.
Yeah, I know though. Wasn't like the puzzle game, like Puyo Puyo puzzle game, wasn't that like a spin-off at first?
Yeah, it was a spin-off of Madumagari.
Yeah, which was a much darker game from what I seen of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Decapitation and stuff.
and melting children.
Yeah, melting children.
Yeah,
Frostbite, which results in bleeding. Blowing
yeah,
up the fucking moon.
blowing up
Before
the
Sonic Fandom did it.
blowing up the moon.
Madumagari 3, where Arrow used the cannon to blow up the moon. I think that was... I definitely know something like that, where...
Oh
I think
shit!
that was in the Game Gear version.
Oh, did it
of that
cause
game.
did it cause the apocalypse? Or
I
whatever.
I don't think it caused the apocalypse. It just happened, and nothing really happened.
Okay,
Nothing
so-
was really affected. That's kind of fucking funny to me.
Right.
It's the moment that stands out in my mind the most.
Yeah, I don't know. I was thinking of that. Well, anyways, So wait, did it come out before DBZ or because I know the moon also got blown up in that?
I
as well.
believe. Let me check Player Nexus very quickly to see when Mandu 3 on Game Gear was released, because I think that was exclusive to the Game Gear version of that game.
Right.
Of Mandu 3. Check.
Yeah. Yeah, the Eggman memes were funny until Twitter. Yeah, the Eggman memes were funny until Twitter ran it to the ground.
In 1994,
Nin-
the third game on Game Gear was released in 1994.
Yeah, okay. Alright, I get that. I've come to make an announcement. I am taking everything away from you. Give me your phone. Anyways, but okay, so as I was about to mention though, in this section where I talk about
Oh yeah,
Right,
fan-made cover.
yeah, right.
Fan-made cover funny.
I mean, I was talking about the when I was talking about the the quality image was pretty terrible when I
4K HD video, 4K HD picture.
yes. Yeah. But when I was during the Mean Bean Machine segment, I originally had plans. Well, not planned. I had a joke lined up. It wasn't a really funny joke. It was not a funny joke. It wasn't a funny joke. More so, it was an assault on the ears, if anything. You remember that meme back in 2017, the "You got beaned" meme?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was originally.
Yeah.
That was originally going to be a joke I was going to, play in this review, but
Yeah.
I cut that out because I ended up delaying this video so much that meme was dead by the point, and thank God I cut that out because that would have, just not been funny at all. It would have dated this video,
Yep.
I think I'd learned my
Like
lesson.
like the Derek Savage stuff in the Sonic 2 review.
I think I learned my lesson from that. I almost made the same mistake. I'd like to think I learned my lesson from that, but,
Is pretty much Reese kind of.
And there's this bit of, awfulness. So, yeah, that's nothing else notable about that video other than terrible audio mixing. It would have been a decent video. Nonetheless,
Leftover from a Sonic game that was.
We finally go back to more decent audio, I believe.
Yeah, I fixed the audio. I got the feedback on the audio mix, and I was like, all right, I'll make sure part 2 doesn't. I should have fixed part 1 when I still had the chance, because ultimately, I lost the original Movie Maker file, and so there's no way for me to go back and just adjust the audio. So,
Yeah.
at this point, all I can do is just redub the entire thing, which I might do. I might change up the script a little bit, you know, whatnot. But anyway.
Waku Waku Sonic Patrol Car is a game in which Sonic is a policeman who drives a police car. You must avoid traffic and stop when the stoplight tells you to, up until the point to where you face off against Eggman or Robotnik, whatever the fuck you want to call him. It's a very different and pretty weird title. I haven't played it, although from what I've seen of it, it has some sort of charm to it. I really don't know. Sega Sonic Cosmo Fighter Galaxy.
It's just a merchandise thing. It's not
is a
really that
space
impressive.
That stars who else but Sonic.
Yeah, it's mostly just something for little babies to use. Like, these
Right.
barely even count as games.
Sega Sonic the
You know, I don't think I even
Hedgehog
once mentioned the popcorn game. I think I did. I don't know.
in which you can play as either Sonic,
I don't
Mighty, or
think
Ray.
it did.
This is yet another game that I have not played, but I do want to at some
Nick,
point.
oh yeah,
Because
Nick
it looks
2751 says, "Why the hell am I a car?"
fast-paced
And that's why Sonic. And then Soshi says, "And that's why Sonic Drift sucks." Yeah,
Yeah.
Sonic in a car was an oddly common theme in the series.
And then
Right.
there's Sonic the Fighters, a fighting game with a roster consisting of Sonic, of course, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, Mighty, and Honey, and many more that come from.
I mentioned Honey, forgetting the fact that she was cut out of the original release. But you know,
It's
Yeah,
a
you should have mentioned that she was just an
typical
XBLA
fighting game, but it's
exclusive,
not
Right.
like
you know?
some other notable fighting games. Most of the time, you can win by basically just mashing buttons. But it is a pretty fun game, and probably even more fun with friends. Also,
I should have
unlike
mentioned
Sonic,
why it
they
was
have a
fun,
fun
because in general, just the whole slapstick nature of the game, like, you know, the way characters like flatten and, you know, like stretch, you know, that is kind of what makes, you know, Sonic the Fighters a bit of a fun game to some degree. It's still broken to hell and back, but you know, it's got some nice quirks to it, and the soundtrack is great. So
at this point, but the soundtrack is just great. The only Sonic game that ever came out for the 32X was Knuckles Chaotix. The characters consist of the Chaotix, that being Mighty, Vector, Charmy, and Espio, as well as the one and only Knuckles the Echidna. As far as gameplay goes, you can pick two characters as they both hold on to a tip that can be manipulated to pull off all sorts of crazy stunts. The environments are cool and colorful, the music's great, and it's a very unique title. However, I haven't really played it, seeing as how I don't have a 32X, and to my knowledge there has never been a re-release. So I can't really say if it's any good or not.
I feel like if I did play it, I probably would have hated it, but you know, because of just how
Yeah.
it looks like a mess.
Chaos.
It looks like a
Yeah,
mess
it's-
of a game, like
It's like it's trying to be both a puzzle game and a platform, and it just feels at both.
right.
The Sega Pico, for those who don't know, was a game system made by Sega that was geared towards young children, with educational games. And being made by Sega, of course the blue little bastard would make an appearance on the console. Two Sonic games were released.
Damn, why do I have... Man, I have such a cynicalistic tone in this video. Like when I...
Like, yeah, a bad day or something.
I probably did. I don't remember. Like, maybe I had a bad day when writing this. I know I had a really shitty day when I was making the, fixing Sonic Forces video. But... Which is why I... you know, sounded extra pissed off there, but like, you know, I was saying stuff like, you know, Eggman, Robotnik, whatever the fuck you want to call him, or, you know, the blue bastard. I guess I just was trying to sound, you know, edgy or whatnot. And, you know, it's again, that's probably something I would change if I ever like remaster this video. But you know,
Maker and Sonic Game Mode. Additionally, there's also Sonic Schoolhouse, which was released on Windows. But let's be honest here, who really cares about an educational Sonic game? Well, no one.
hey, I know Sonic Schoolhouse has a couple of fans, so I mean,
Although
you
there
know.
is something interesting
Sonic Schoolhouse fandom.
about Sonic Schoolhouse. That being that the model they used for Sonic in Schoolhouse was actually a reused model from a cancelled Sonic game for the Saturn. What was this cancelled game, you may ask? Well, this perfectly segues into our next subject of discussion.
Fitting music for the canceled games, but not.
With the Sonic series being as big as it was back in the 90s, there were evidently ideas that never saw the light of day. Whether they be rejected or greenlit but faced with development issues that in the end leads to the title's untimely demise, there are quite a bit of cancelled Sonic games. Throughout the 90s, first of the batch is Sega Sonic Bros., a puzzle game that features Sonic and original character number 1 and 2.
Yes, I do
Remember,
talk about
not
Sonic
Steel.
Extreme.
Not much is really known about this cancelled title. Sonic
I think a ROM. Oh yeah, the ROM for this game got dumped.
Yeah, I think that I made.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
After.
yeah, I think this was made like before that actually happened. So that's like, yeah.
System. Again, it's an educational Sonic game. No one really would have cared about it.
True,
So it
but
really
it
isn't a
you know
lost
it's lost media, so it's
Yeah,
interesting for
I-
that reason.
Sister Sonic. Sister
Yeah,
Sonic
I mean, I
was
don't exactly
interestingly
get why
actually gonna
education in
be
Sonic was
American
also a
localization
theme.
of Pop Fumeo, but rebranded under the
Right.
Sonic license.
Well, again, it was a
When
common
the fans
thing
of Pop
for
Fumeo
you know
found out
video
about
game
Pop
series to
Fumeo
have
being
like
rebranded as a
educational
Sonic game
spin-offs,
when being brought to the US,
like
they were pissed.
you know,
And so a bunch of
Mario had
Yeah,
Mike just typing.
yeah, Rayman had
Doing
the
that.
feedback, this project
Rayman
was eventually
Jr..
scrapped in favor
Yeah.
of a simple English translation of Pop Fumeo.
yeah. There were a lot of
Sonic
canceled
games
Sonic
canceled
movies,
education
Nick.
the Sega people that started younger
Yeah,
versions.
like the one in 2003.
Whatever.
Yeah, the
and
King
I think
Panda-
there's one that was called Sonic Around the World or something with the weird thing that was meant to promote Sonic Extreme.
Right, yeah, that was that was like the 90s. Yeah, the script for that is wild. I don't know.
I forgot what that title was called, but that movie was called, but
Whatever. Next up is Sonic Crackers.
From the makers of Cracker Ass Crackers.
Sonic Crackers is actually a prototype of Knuckles Chaotix, as it features Sonic and Tails being held together by a ring, which was one of the main gameplay features of Knuckles Chaotix. Physics similar to Knuckles Chaotix, and even some level designs that were somewhat implemented into Knuckles Chaotix. It also features an isometric overworld. Next up is Sonic 16, which is actually a game based off of the Saturday morning cartoon series Sonic Sat AM.
I think that actually ended up being developed into Sonic Extreme before ultimately ended up being canceled. But I don't know.
Was a very
I know
different
Extreme started off
game,
as a
featured
Sat AM
more
game.
Slower, stealth-oriented gameplay with some combat elements mixed in. When this was showed off to Yuji Naka, he gave it 2 thumbs down, in which then the project was scrapped. Personally,
yeah, this is like
I
the most
thought this was
unsonic
pretty
Sonic
good,
game.
but it is kind of crazy when you think about the fact.
Oh wait a second.
Like, there's no speed.
Right. Oh wait. Okay. Here is. I remember there was like what was that one guy that won? Cycle the Frog, right? Is that one Twitter user? He was like getting up in arms about people, saying this looked like shit, and he was like, "No, you're wrong. This is actually a masterpiece," and you're, or something along that lines.
Yeah, that one person. It was kind of funny to see that guy try to argue that this game was a masterpiece because it had story. Like, that even matters when they come over gameplay. Like,
Right.
I mean, I hate people who just want story over gameplay.
Right.
Like, the gameplay has to hold up on its own as well, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I liked some of the ideas from this game, like the that spike attack, you know, and whatnot. I thought that was interesting to some degree. It's just that gameplay-wise, it looks so on-Sonic-y. But it's at this point that I actually foreshadow Sonic Boom.
This was going to be a game based off a cartoon that was also based off a video game series. Granted, we would eventually get a Sonic game that's based off of a cartoon series in 2014, but I will not mention its name in fear that my face will melt off like in Raiders of the Lost Ark. Sonic
I'll remember that when I get to Rise of Lyric.
Ride is a Sonic the Hedgehog themed ride that was never released. Not much that I can really say about that. Sonic Saturn was a 3D Sonic game that was in development for, obviously, the Sega Saturn. This did at one point reach a playable state and was shown off to Yuji Naka. But in a similar fate to Sonic 16, Yuji Naka did not approve this game for full development.
Yeah, I've heard of Sonic Epoch before. Yeah, it was like an unofficial Sonic game that was released for the Game Boy Advance, right? Yeah. It's kind of weird now I think about it. I have to check that out sometime. You know.
So it was evidently cancelled. But it wasn't entirely dead, as the engine, as well as many of the game's elements, were to be used in a bonus game for the Sega Saturn version of Sonic 3D Blast. However, due to time constraints, this feature also ended up getting scrapped. And last, but definitely most infamous of Sonic Extreme. Sonic Extreme was meant to be the first true 3D Sonic game, and would have been released for the Saturn. I'm not gonna go into the
Yeah, I think a 3D game on the Saturn like this wouldn't have been a good idea.
Right.
Because like Sonic, because stuff is only because it only works with a powerful enough system to handle the kind of speed.
You're right.
So bad that one of the developers, Chris Coffin, almost fucking died while working on this game due to stress and lack of sleep. It's kind of a shame that this game did end up the way it did. I actually kind of like a lot of the ideas that were put into this game.
It looked terrible.
Also, I don't care what anyone says. But
So anyways, let's just move this along.
Into a newer Sonic title.
I like Tiara's design,
This
but
includes
you know, I
It looked very Sally-like.
I forgot that she exists though. I keep on forgetting she exists, and obviously, understandably why, because you know. She's a part of a canceled game, so
graphics, a new special stage, and an entirely different soundtrack. The soundtrack for the Sega Saturn version of Sonic 3D Blast is pretty good, but I think the Genesis version has a way better soundtrack overall. I haven't played the Saturn version of 3D Blast, so I can't really say anything about its quality. Sonic R is a racing game, but unlike all the other Sonic racing games, where vehicles or hoverboards are involved, almost all of the
awkward pause there.
characters run on foot, with the exception of Amy and Eggman. The course design isn't half bad, but the controls are absolutely horrendous and pretty much ruin the game. This actually could have been a decent game.
I'll have to reassess my assessment of this game at some point in the future.
The controls were any better. But one
Yeah, because I actually managed to find Sonic R decent to control, actually.
Right.
Not really that great, but
Definitely the music. Holy shit, this soundtrack is just so damn catchy.
Yeah, Nick. Yeah, World 3 is basically, you know, the same situation as Sonic Extreme, only except that kind of came out. Except that actually came out and whatnot. Let's see. Can you feel the sunshine? Numen can't. Nope.
yeah, we're stuck inside, and and it's nighttime.
The soundtrack
Yeah.
is actually really good, and you can't deny it. Seriously, just give this shit a listen.
Well, I know Factor 5 Fanatic could deny it.
And now, for the last title we will look at for this video, Sonic Jam.
Alright, so I like this part. This is probably my favorite part of the video. Because of the way it
A preview,
ties into the eventual Sonic Adventure review.
but it's more than just that, as it also includes official artwork, archive commercials, a video showing off Sonic Ride, a preview for the Sonic OVA, and even a cool little cartoon titled The Man of the Year. However, this compilation's biggest feature...
It's too bad we never got a follow-up on Man of the Year. Supposedly that was like a pitch for a Sonic cartoon. Which, you know, never actually came to fruition. I think that was what it was. Or if it was just, like, meant to be just a little short and, like, nothing else. Because if it was actually meant to be a full-on cartoon, then I think it's easy to say, but we were pretty much robbed. Because it was pretty cool, you know, it was nice.
Is the
whatnot.
additional 3D world to explore. This is pretty much the first true 3D Sonic game to ever been released, as well as the only good 3D Sonic game on the Saturn. It's small and limited, but really damn impressive. The most important thing to note, however, is that this would be a sign of things to come, as this was actually a leftover from a Sonic game that was actually being developed for the Saturn, but had to be moved to the Dreamcast. That's right, a prototype for an upcoming 3D Sonic game that was released to the public through a compilation of the Genesis Sonic titles. So, the question remains, what is this 3D Sonic title that we would eventually get for the Dreamcast?
Yes, I wonder what it is.
Let's just say it's a bit
Gee, I wonder.
adventure.
Ear rape.
Yep.
Again, the way it ties into
I think this is the point. I think this is the point where Numen reviews start to get really good.
Yeah. You watched the adventure review, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Next time on this retrospective, we will tackle Sonic Adventure for the Dreamcast.
And so, yeah, this is a sign of good things to come, because next up is, after that, the Sonic Adventure review. Yeah. This guy has no idea.
Yep.
Yep. Alright, so yeah, this is where the reviews started getting... Anyways. Anyways, should we watch the fixing forces? I mean, I'm probably gonna... Yeah.
Yeah, I think putting the fixing forces would be a good way to cap things off. Who knows? I mean, I don't know. Part of me wants to wish that the adventure... I don't know. Part of me wonders if and what... Like, when will we start the adventure stuff? Like, I mean, I'm thinking either start Adventure 1 this stream or start Adventure 1 next stream.
Let's see, what does the audience want? The viewers, the chat. Should we do adventure tomorrow? Should we do the adventure rewatch tomorrow, or no?
Or do we do part 1 one day and part 2 another day? Because that video was split into 2 parts.
Right, yeah. I know somebody said, I remember a Sonic Forces video that talked about the custom character. They then said, Hillary would never let this happen. Yeah. Hillary wouldn't let it happen. Yeah, I've got time. most people are saying tomorrow. So I guess we'll just cap things off with the fixing forces. And again, this is a filler video.
Ultimately, just
I think I've made my current thoughts on forces pretty clear, but
dashing like a maniac through the stages.
So I'd say this is where the production value started to get upped in these videos, because I started, but when I made this, I was like, I think it was when I was editing this, I was just having a really rough day, and so, I know somebody said I just came off as melodramatic in this video, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of melodrama or melodramaticness as long as you.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen other reviewers who got pretty, I've seen other reviewers who, like, get pretty, not who you get, hard to necessarily say, but whatnot. I'd say it's balanced out in this video. I personally don't think this is one of my better videos. I do think this does go into cringe territory, but, regardless.
So, Sonic Forces...
Also, this is the first time Desmond, a.k.a. Gur from the Reich Gamers, actually makes a cameo on this channel, so it's not the very end.
And most of us basically played ourselves like a damn fiddle, thinking it would live up to any of the hype that was present since it was first revealed in 2016. It's a disappointment, and it's clear evidence that Sonic Team does not know what the fuck they are doing. Or they do know what they're doing, but they have the exact wrong idea. In fact, that's kinda true, as they literally confirmed that in an interview. Well, you know what? Instead of whining about how much this game basically kinda sucks,
which is what I'm going to do eventually.
Whine about what the game could have been.
Yep.
So, in this video, I'll be giving out my brilliant ideas on how to fix this game and turn it into a good Sonic game. I will say that I don't necessarily hate this game, nor do I consider it a bad game. I just think it's a disappointment.
Oh, your opinions definitely have changed in this.
Then that's
Yep.
okay. So, let's start off with how I'd fix the story. There's not much wrong with the story in my opinion, but I have issues that I think could use some fixing.
Yeah.
One thing I definitely do is to get rid of Pontac and Raph. They severely fucked this game's translation up the ass, adding in details that weren't even in the original Japanese script, and overall just being really fucking cringy with the script. I definitely replaced them with Ian Flynn, someone who's capable of doing good writing, or even better, just translate the Japanese script to English. It shouldn't be that hard. Sonic is kinda one-dimensional and could have used at least more than 2 emotions. Tails is a pathetic pansy bitch in this game. Granted, this has basically been a trend in modern Sonic games since Sonic Unleashed, and it's one that I particularly hate. They're basically ignoring all his character development from the adventure games. He's just as useless in Forces, as all he does is just stroke the non-existent...
Okay, so admittedly, yeah, some of that 2015 cringe is still present in this 2017 video. Mainly in the allusion to what I just said there, but, yeah, again, there are some aspects of this video that just doesn't hold up well.
He's so much of a bitch.
Yep.
It's still
agree.
It's still better than anything that came out in 2015 or 2016, whatnot. But
take Chaos Zero, even though he's fought higher forms of him. Personally,
Soshi, I would like to believe that they are out of the picture, but I mean, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I'd like to think they're out of the picture. I personally think they're okay people, but, it's just that, I don't know. We have to wait and see. As is, I'm pretty sure next year we'll get an announcement of, like, a new game, but chances are it's possible that it's possible they're gonna scrap Modern Sonic. I don't want them to. I sincerely do not want them to just... I do, want Modern Sonic to, just continue on, make an actual good game with him, if not at least one final good game with him, if they're gonna scrap him. But I don't know.
Competent, actually fighting alongside Sonic and friends. He could help the Resistance plan out tactical strategies. Maybe even have the story imply that he created the Wispons that the custom furry uses. Just some ideas on how to flesh him out as a character. Infinite is an okay villain. He has some good dialogue and some particularly great moments. Much like his design.
Well, he has some good moments, I won't lie. It's just that,
very well. And the closure to his character is very underwhelming. Now,
he's
the concept
Diet
behind his
Mephiles.
backstory is not bad, though. It's actually kind of a good premise. It's just that the way it's handled makes it very juvenile and childish. To summarize his backstory, he was degraded to a simple mercenary. He had friends and together showed the world what they could do. But when he touched the fancy groupie, everything changed. He became insane and started working for Dr. Eggman. And because of that decision, his friends died. He felt very guilty and even weak for not being capable of saving them. So he took all of that pain and rage and became infinite. Not a bad backstory. Even the comics establish this pretty well. So, how is it handled in the game, though?
I'm gonna skip by this point a little bit.
Infinite. This is the funniest of all time.
It's one of the funniest. Yeah, it's so bad. It's funny,
So, writing implies that he became infinite because he was mad that he got his ass beat by Shadow. So, he wants to become a better edgelord and prove that he's not weak. Honestly, it's a very petty backstory. And if I were to change it, I would focus on his anger and guilt after losing his friends, and have that be his motivation for wanting to cause destruction to the world. Would have been way better than...
I saved you all the anguish
pretty strange.
of that poor attempt at comedy.
He just gets his ass kicked and he's all of a sudden whisked away to a tower never to be seen again. It's like they tried to make his defeat ambiguous. I personally would have made him the final boss, where he's at his highest level of power, and Sonic, your custom furry, and fake classic Sonic.
I tend to use the custom furry comment way too much. In general, I could have toned it down a bit, but it is what it is.
I'll have to fight him in their super forms. Anyways, there's more I can nitpick and correct about the story and writing, but I feel that I should move on to the more important aspect of this game, and the one that ultimately brings it down. That being the gameplay. Alright, let's set one thing straight. Get Classic Sonic the fuck out of here. He literally served no purpose to the plot and had basically the worst playstyle in the entire game. He was practically the third wheel. He's a massive downgrade compared to his gameplay in Generations. And it's a fucking joke compared to the pristine and polished classic gameplay of Sonic Mania. So, I may ask, why even have him here when Mania had infinitely better classic Sonic gameplay and would have come out the exact same year? Now, I bet that all of you people in the Sonic Forces Defense Squad will use
epic
the
call
argument
out.
that Forces started development before Mania,
Swag
which
Jack,
somehow automatically makes it justifiable. However, he isn't even present in any of the game's concept art, which leads me to believe that he was added in late into development, as a way of tying into Sonic Mania.
Yes, Nick.
A game they knew would be successful.
Yes, Nick. Spooky had way better dialogue and voice, voice performance than Infinite. In fact, he's a way better villain than Infinite. Way more potential than Infinite too.
Critically acclaimed. So
I don't know. I can't exactly say that, but
him in to leech off that game's success, but at the cost of quality. Honestly, the time spent making these awful stages could have gone to making something better, like having infinite playable, so we can be given more insight into his character.
Or
Well,
no other playable characters, just one have other playable characters, but just have them fit in one consistent playstyle. We don't need more than one playstyle, you know. So that's a bad idea from me to even suggest having Infinite as a playable character when all Sonic Forces needed was a consistent style. The biggest downfall of the game was how it tried too many things, you know. As is, I recall that originally during development, the custom character was the only playable character, and I would have been fine with that if it gave us a good game. You know, I'm sure it would have pissed off most people if Sonic wasn't playable, but as is, you know, I think there was potential in the idea of the custom character being the only playable character, because that would have allowed them to have fleshed out the mechanics more. Not to mention, this would have put Sonic in a mentor role, which, you know, would have actually been an interesting idea for once. A little bit of a reversal.
Yeah, they do touch upon the idea once or twice, but
right.
Don't touch upon enough to really make it.
Yeah, Forces is a terrible game just because of how much potential there is and just how little it executes, you know.
Yeah, it barely goes above the minimum.
I'm just gonna say, a lot of people tend to say this, but if the next Sonic game is anywhere near the quality of Forces, I am genuinely done. Because, as is, I mean, yeah, I'll still revisit older games and whatnot, but if they can't, you know, knowing Sega, they'll probably find a way to fuck up the next game. I don't want to sound cynical, but it's possible that they'll find a way. As is, you know, my expectations are extremely low for what they have in store next. Anyways. Well, I'm looking at the chat real quick. Oh yeah, my World 4 script is really fleshing him out. I think it also helped Spooky was played by
Tim Curry.
Was he?
I don't know.
I mean, I heard it. You mentioned that it was rumored, but let me look at it real quick. Yeah, Infinite's voice is generic, even though it is fitting. Funny thing about him is I think he also... Infinite's voice... He voiced Gaara. He also voiced Gaara in Naruto. Which, to be fair, I never really watched much of Naruto, so I don't really know how Gaara sounds. He probably sounds similar to Infinite. Yeah, I just know that the Infinite voice actor is kind of prevalent in a lot of different animes. I know he voiced a character in something I watched recently. I don't exactly remember. I know he was also in Devil May Cry 4 as Agnes. Anyways, that's just a little bit tidbit. But, you know, Tim Curry as Spooky? That is something that, I still kind of find myself to question. Okay, so, yeah, again, the thing is with the World 2 voice acting, you know, the voice acting in the first two World games is that none of them were ever credited, and I think it's mentioned that that's because the voices are done by, you know, the developers, you know, like they didn't get any actual, it wasn't until World 3 where they actually, it wasn't until World 3 when they got actual voice acting talent, you know, whatnot. Again, anything is possible, and, you know, so it's possible that in World 2, Spooky may have been voiced by Tim Curry, because there have most certainly been weirder things. I just find it hard to believe that Tim Curry would voice him, yet he would go uncredited. Unless, he was fine with that. In which case, I can totally understand that. Anyways, I've sidetracked a bit too much.
Actually, what would have been even better would to be just focusing on having compelling gameplay for modern Sonic and the custom furry. I honestly adored the whole custom character concept. I thought it was the best part of the game. It still has some issues that I would fix, though.
This custom wolf girl, her name is, oh, I gave her a name. It was Alicia. But funny thing is, I know, like, a couple of different people have actually really liked this custom character to a point where they actually drew art of her, whatnot. Which I might as well mention for the sake of it. This, I know I actually have a piece of, like, art of her that was drawn by the Stolkin. So, yeah, that's something to mention. Yeah, but
I would add more customizable options, and I'd also make it so that the custom furry has proper body proportions similar to that of the official characters, instead of the boringly flat, generic, cartoon character-looking proportions. I get why Sonic Team did this. I mean, they didn't want the custom character overshadowing Sonic in terms of design. But the Dragon Ball Xenoverse games didn't nerf their custom characters to be...
Are we referencing Bandai Hack Fraud Games content now, are we?
...to the official one. So why does this game have to do that? The biggest thing I'd fix for the custom furry is its gameplay. Basically, it's modern Sonic's gameplay, but a bit more shittier. Something new would have been better. So, what I'm going to suggest is free-roaming, objective-based levels with a bit more emphasis on combat. I'd also give each race their own ability to go along.
Yeah, no, I don't think that would work.
Like, for example,
like,
hedgehogs could do...
Here's the thing, I think that, in general, something like this demanded a much better gameplay system, or much better control system. As is, Sonic Lost World laid a good foundation for, gameplay of that of, something like the custom character. And, I think carrying that playstyle into Forces for the custom character would not have been a bad idea. In general, there's just, so much wrong with Forces.
A spin dash, and birds could have an air dash. Something along those lines. Each stage could have different objectives. Some stages could be about getting to the end. Some could be about trying to defeat certain enemies, like the giant Death Egg robots in the city. Others could be about rescuing members of the Resistance who are in danger. Last thing I want to mention with the custom furry is the grappling hook. It was a very cool idea, but it was very underutilized, as 90% of the time it was used for automation. It could have been used for so much more, like environment-specific level design gimmicks and spectacle space set pieces. And I'm not talking about QTEs, I'm talking about the ones that have player input.
So, for modern Sonic, well, to start, I'd give him back his control from Generations. It's not perfect, but it's the best we've ever gotten in a Boost Sonic game, and it's definitely better than what we had gotten in Forces. Like, whose bright idea was it to get rid of the drift? If there's one thing I would keep in Forces, it'd be Sonic's sick-ass air boost. That was fun to abuse. The stages in this game have some of the worst level design I've seen from 3D Sonic in recent years. However, there are two stages in particular that I'd count as exceptions, those being Null Space and Motor Canyon. These stages are what every single level in this game should have been, because they're fully 3D and have tons of different branching pathways. However, these stages aren't nearly as good as modern Seaside Hill from Sonic Generations. If anything, I'd
Wait, the voice is back, or?
Voice is back.
Oh, the voice is back, baby. We're back. We're back, and I think Shitty Student is back too.
Yeah, we're all back into the family.
So, Shady Stone, what do you think of the Fixing Sonic Forces video?
Oh, that one's alright. I mean,
Yeah, it's alright. So anyways,
really good points there.
So going back to this, I'll make a particular comment where I say...
There are two stages in particular that I'd count as exceptions. Those being Null Space and Motor Canyon. These stages are...
Hold on.
...operations. It's not perfect, but it's... Like, whose bright idea was it to get rid of the drift? If there's one thing I would keep in Forces, it'd be Sonic's sick-ass that I've seen from 3.
Okay, so here's this part, this bullet point I have. Literally flatter than Blaze's chest. You know, some people thought that was funny, you know, and in general, I can definitely see the comedy. There is actually lore implication. It does, you know, play off of lore implications, you know, because I remember in the Bible for Sonic 06, it mentioned, under Blaze's character, it mentions how, I don't know, mentions her, sensitivity. Well, not sensitivity, more so her, irritation with, you know, her, you-know-what size, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. So, it was a playoff.
I've heard about that before.
Yeah, it was a playoff of, lore ideas, and so I, you know, I took that bit of knowledge and used that as a basis for comparing Sonic Forces' flat ass level design, which is pencil thin as hell.
Sonic in recent years. However, there are two stages in particular that I'd count as exceptions. Those being Null Space and Motor Canyon. These stages are what every single level in this game should have been, because they're fully 3D and have tons of different branching pathways.
They're the best levels, but by Sonic Generation standards, they're pretty mediocre.
However, these stages are nearly as good as modern Seaside Hill from Sonic Generations. If anything, I'd take that stage's design philosophies and apply it to every stage in the game. I'd also add a bit more of an emphasis on 3D platforming, not too much though, and I'd also cut down on automation. I'd also make the stages way longer, clocking in on around 5 minutes, if not, then at the very least 3 minutes. Stages that are less than 1 minute are just unacceptable.
And here, I'm lazy, so I mention, so instead of like going back and, you know, recording audio for just talking about all these things, I just, you know, list them out on, yeah.
Alright, let's see, what else is there that I'd add? Let's see. Oh yeah, I'd add in the boss fights for Shadow and Chaos. They were hyped up as villains who you would fight, but they end up being one-shotted in cutscenes.
You know, funny we're watching this now. I would know that recently there was a mod for Sonic Generations. No, Sonic Forces. Damn, these modern Sonic games are starting to blend together. But yeah, there is a mod for Forces that actually adds in a chaos boss fight. Yeah, have any of you seen any of that?
Yeah, I've seen parts of it.
Yeah, I've seen the mod trailer, and it looks pretty fun.
Yeah, it looks like a decent fight, you know.
Is that the one with the classic Sonic?
Yeah. They're doing what should have been the bare minimum for the developers, so it just goes to show that the fact that, you know, I don't want to sound cliche. This is what I'm about to say is cliche, but the fact that, you know, fans are able to make the game more tolerable, you know, it says a lot.
I was legitimately hyped up to fight these guys again. And while I'm at it, I'd change the boss fights for Metal Sonic and Infinite. I'd make Metal Sonic harder and give him his attacks from Generations in Sonic 4. As for Infinite, while the cube shit was kinda cool, honestly would have liked to have seen him use more than that, like the energy attacks you see him use in the cutscenes.
Here's the thing, his final fight should have just been the first fight, but harder. Instead of just reskinning the Metal Sonic fight. Also, they should have played a lot more with his illusion-based mechanics and whatnot. Instead of it just being a penalty for hitting the red cubes. But
I'd fix the marketing since it was pretty bad. And I'd also add in better replay value. And, let's see, oh my god, honestly, I'd have to fix the entire fucking game. Because basically everything about it is just so wrong. We can stay here all day talking about what we'd fix, but honestly, we all have to ask ourselves, what were they thinking putting out such half-
What were they thinking?
Haven't they learned from failures like 06 and Rise of Lyric? How could they go from a game like Generations and Mania to a game like this?
And I know somebody in the comments section got offended that I compared it to Rise of Lyric, but it deserves to be compared to Rise of Lyric because in my opinion, it's just as bad as Rise of Lyric. For, you know, because this had so many. There was like, you know, again. I'll just save that.
Now, I'm
for when
aware
I talk
that the
about
talent
it.
that worked on games like Unleashed and Generations left and moved on to Nintendo to work on games like Zelda Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. So Sonic Team basically had to hire new people for this title. So it makes sense as to why the game is what it is. But Forces could have definitely benefited from extra development time. But nope, they just had to rush it out for the holiday season, didn't they?
Hold on, my cat is getting in my hold on. Alright.
Before I end this video, I want to bring in a guest to talk about what he would fix. So, ladies and gentlemen,
Here he is. Here he comes.
Introduce you to Gur from the Rage Gamers.
My boy Desmond.
He goes into detail about 3 things he would fix in Forces.
Here he is.
Hello everyone, I'm Gur from the Right Gamers. If
It's
you
him!
don't know me, head
It's
over
him!
to that channel. We do gaming related things and other topics. And...
What? Oh yeah. What? It's Desmond.
Not really memes, but sometimes. And regardless, so what I feel like they need to fix about Sonic Forces, for starters, is that god awful pencil thin straight fucking level design. Besides that, they also need to fix the Chaos Battle. Like, they hype him up so much in those trailers as a side boss, in a regular boss, in a sense. Yet you can 1 or 2 shot him with classic Sonic of all characters. And they also need to fix the way they implement custom characters into the lore, because, I mean, it's a cool idea on paper and in theory, I guess, but in game, it is not really that good of an idea to have. Think about just playing Sonic 1, right? You're strolling through Green Hill, you go to the end, and instead of Eggman, you see fucking Catman with cloud goggles and a vape. Yes, I wouldn't like that either. Anyways, that is just a brief summary of what I would like to have changed in Sonic Forces, or any Sonic game like Forces. But if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to the Numen from Pac-man and to the Rice Gamers. Thank you for watching. Share this video. Give it 45 million likes. Dab in the comments, and see you next time. Keep vaping. Our little fucking goddamn it, fucking subscribers.
So, dear viewers, if there's anything you would fix about Sonic Forces, what would it be? Be sure to let me know in the comment section below. And as always, until next time, goodbye.
I think this was before I had my signature end slate where I say, until next time, I will see you all later. No. Whatnot. So, anyways. Oh god. Super Starfy 2002 dabbed in the stream. He's
damn. Wow, funny XD. Funny meme moment, as Nick said.
He XD'd. He XD'd us. XD, funny meme moment. Funny meme XD. So I guess that should wrap. Hold on. Oh. Just. Oh, look at this. We are in the stream. Hold on. Wow. Wait, let's see how this affects. I'm creating parallel universes here.
Yes.
Oh, look at this.
This is what would going to result in
the stream. Hold on.
The collapse of our universe.
Wow. We might as well. Let's see how this affects. We're in the infinite void. I'm creating parallel universes here. I'm just gonna set this. Yes. I'm gonna set this here for a second.
You're gonna result in the collapse of our universe.
We might as well see how this affects.
Oh.
We're in the infinite void. I'm creating universes here. I'm just gonna set this. Yes. I'm gonna set this here for a second. Soshi the Yoshi, your message was retracted. Why would that be? This is infinite void. This is a fucking mess, man. I can't even tell which one is which. We're like. Soshi the Yoshi, your message was retracted. Why would that be?
Oh, this is. Oh my oh god! No.
This is insanity. This is a fucking mess, man. This is insanity. Whoa.
Whoa, we're like.
I can't even tell which one is which. We're like. Soshi the Yoshi, your message was retracted. Why would that be? Whoa! This is oh my god! Wow, man! This is insanity! Whoa!
What?
This is Brazil. Yeah, right, Nick. This is Brazil. This is Brazil. Whoa! Shit! Oh man. We're fucking breaking the universe, guys. This is Brazil. Yeah, right, Nick. This is Brazil. This is Brazil.
Whoa. Brazil moment. Whoa. Brazil moment.
Epic meme moment, bro.
Yeah, bro.
We're fucking breaking the universe, guys.
This is Brazil. Space and time, and
this is Brazil.
You're not gonna time.
This is Brazil.
Wow. Wow. Brazil moment. Brazil moment.
Epic meme moment, bro.
Woo!
This is the reason time travel was canceled. Yeah, bro.
Fucking bring me here, guys.
Traveling through space and time. That's great.
Oh yeah, baby.
Epic meme moment,
Yeah,
bro.
baby.
This is the reason time travel was canceled.
Yeah, baby. Let's fucking go. Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. Let's fucking go. Bruh, it's so fucking loud! Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
Clones. Whoa.
Yeah, baby, let's fucking go! Bruh, it's so fucking loud!
I feel my ears gonna break.
Bro, what?
What? I feel my ears are gonna die. I don't know, man. I'm kind of exaggerating, but it is. There you go.
Well, see you guys later!
See ya, bye. Hope everyone died in the void.